So let us start. Uh, let us start with the disclaimer. The material presented here is for education. Can you see my screen? Can you confirm? Hello? Okay, the disclaimer, the material presented here is for educational learning purposes only and should not be taken as purchase or sell recommendations. Trading, investing in stocks and derivatives, future options, etc. is risky and could result in a substantial loss of invested capital. I'm not a registered financial advisor with FINRA or SEC. For any financial advice, please consult a registered financial advisor. And the purpose of this disclaimer is that almost every day I receive some requests from someone that, hey, I have these positions that bought at this price. How much should I keep? How much should I sell? I'm not a registered financial advisor, so I cannot give you personalized financial recommendations. That's the job of a licensed financial advisor who can sit with you and analyze your personal financial situation. You set your goals, and then you can discuss with him or her how to make future decisions based on your own personal financial circumstances. Now, thanks everyone for joining me. Can someone quickly confirm to me that you can see my screen?
Don't see your screens, everybody.
You don't see it?
No. What are you sharing right now?
Disclaimer.
No. I don't see
No,
it.
we don't see it.
You don't see it. So what are you finding? Nothing?
Nothing, the black screen.
How can it be? Let me try again. Share.
I can see it.
Now can you see the disclaimer screen?
I can from my end.
I can.
Okay, then if one or two person can see, then it means it's up and working. All right, so let's move ahead. My today's agenda is I just want to have a weekly session with my customers and obviously others, non-customers as well. This is open session. And today's agenda is basically very simple. We will analyze current market situation so that we can set forth our future direction and strategies accordingly in the upcoming weeks and months. And then we will take a look at our performance of our last 1.5 year of the as part of our weekly commentary stock picks and during the week the trades that we have given and how they perform, what worked well, what did not, and how to improve that. I will be open to the comments and suggestions on that. And that will be pretty much it for today. Besides that, for my customer of my software, you guys know that I have this software. This is the presentation, the software, stocks analysis software, which is a web-based AI-powered system, and I launched it earlier, February this year. I have started personalized coaching sessions with the customers of these sessions, this software only. But if you are a weekly commentary customer, you are welcome to join. And those are sitting with only at max three people, two, three people, so that we can discuss them individual issues and go through them. And because in a large sitting like this, when you have 20 plus or 30 plus people, it's difficult to answer each and every question. And I want people to get up and running with the software and its features because most of the people, I think, they're not utilizing the complete features of this. So if you are a customer of this software, you have paid for it, either weekly commentary or stock analysis. Currently, I'm offering 2 to 3 sessions per week during the middle of the week, in there, sometime after the market close, sometime late in the evening, depending upon the time slots, and I can schedule you. And it's only for the first timers, free of cost, no cost to any. And some of you I can recognize they have already attended these sessions. So anyway, moving back to our main topic here today, and that is about what the market is currently doing here and what we expect the market in the days forward. So I have, for example, let's analyze first, start with the major indices. Now, this is for those of you who don't know or who are joining for the first time. This is part of the software that the TR indicator, which is my trend recognition indicator. It's a 6-stage indicator, 3 signals for the stage 1, stage 2, and stage 3 signals for the bullish trend, and on the flip side, stage 1 and stage 2 and stage 3 on the bearish side as well. Now, what you are looking here, though both are Heiken Ashi charts, and for those of you who don't know Heiken Ashi charts, it's on a few days ago, maybe last month, I have a presentation on using the TR indicator with Heiken Ashi chart. This presentation can be found on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/@mjsoftware. And this is the one. If you want to improve your chart basics, skill technical chart basics 101 course, 3 weeks ago, an hour and 60 minutes, that's something that you should take a look. And right now I am using this Heiken Ashi. Where is that gone? Here we go. Day trading stocks, 3 months ago. 1 second. Right here. Find entries in strong stocks using TR indicator with Heiken Ashi candles. Last month's presentation, I strongly suggest everyone to watch this, mark this YouTube channel, subscribe to our channel, and please review this particular presentation. So moving back here, this is our index S&P 500 on your left and on your right. Right is a weekly chart, so each bar represents 1 week, and each bar on your left represents 1 day. Now, where do we really want to trade and want to be? Number one, on a daily chart, the S&P 500 on the regular candlestick chart, it has gone below its 50 period moving average, 50-day away. And that's an area where most of the stocks start struggling. As you can see, this struggle started on the late May. And since late May, we have been trying to go up, 1 step forward, 1.75 step backward, 1.5 step forward, 2 step backward. This is what the market is doing. And currently, market is the index itself, S&P 500, is slightly below the 50-day moving average on the weekly daily chart. If we change the chart to Nasdaq, now we are going towards the tech-heavy Nasdaq index, and you can see it is much worse than S&P 500. It is well below its 50-day, this green line moving average, 20-day, and has broken down below its June's level, which is a bearish signal, and that's why the TR indicator is also giving us a strong sell signal. It looks like that most tech stock means semiconductors and big companies like apart from Apple, other Mac 7, they are going downward as shown by this PPO, which is now negative. And most likely it will hit this support level at 27,400 on this is index, not futures, or even 200-day below. And if market remains weak, now why I'm saying that market? Because traditionally the period from first of all, the period from 26th to 6th of August, 7th of August, 26th July 7th, is generally a bullish period, generally. End of the month and beginning of the month. But overall, the period starting from 26th of July till all the way to mid of October is a bearish period. It means that historically, dated back to 1950, the overall return of this period has been negative. That's number one. Number two, we have ever-changing geopolitical situation in Middle East, which is affecting supply chains, which is affecting energies, businesses, travel, as you know. I don't want to, don't have to go into the details of that thing. Apart from that, the midterm elections are around the corner in November. The next 2-3 months will be busy with the uncertainty about the midterm election. The one thing those markets hate every stock market, whether it's here or in India or Pakistan, is uncertainty. If people are not sure about what is going to happen next, or the risks are elevated, then they will start to sell stock, especially in growth stocks area or volatile stock. So, for example, if we on the right side there's a list of tech leaders and tech leaders or Fang Plus. So if we move to any of these tech stocks like WDC, STX, SanDisk, all of them are well below their recent highs. For example, SanDisk was more than 2300, right now is 1436. And that's quite a bit of move, 33% or even more than that, 40% move downward side. So overall, as you can see, apart from Apple, I think almost everyone is under pressure. Even Nvidia is basically doing nothing except for holding its support levels. This is otherwise, even Amazon you will showing the looking at the same kind of patterns. Even Google has broken down. Tesla, no need to tell about Tesla. It's a very big falling knife. So overall, when these things are happening, so why the S&P 500 is still holding its 50-day line is around that. The reason being the S&P 500 has much more to offer than just the tech stocks. S&P 500 has big portions of companies in pharmaceutical, financial sector, banks, and utilities and other areas, or energy itself, which are doing much better. And there are pockets of strength in those areas. So that's why that particular index is doing better than these tech stocks. Now, it's difficult for investors who are in a growth mindset and who have made some good amount of money to switch gear, because your mindset normally is market has a very good, it's very good, it's expert at tuning the minds of traders, investors. So once you are in this mindset, like, oh, it's growing, 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 SNDK 1000% of in 1 year, MU 800% in 1 year, then it's hard for them to understand that now the market is no longer in that mode. So we need to tune ourselves, our strategies, shed our risk, reduce our exposure from risky areas till the situation improves, unless we are in long-term stocks and we enjoy some good cushion and profit at good entries. So going back to the indices again, that was S&P 500. Nasdaq, I just explained, this is Nasdaq 100 or triple Q, in other words. And you can see that it's going, the path towards the least resistance is towards the downside. So we can expect more selling in the days to come. Now, does not mean the market cannot go up. This is market. Any good news, any change in the circumstances can push it up. But what we are experiencing right now, that every push up is countered by a stronger wave of selling downside. So every push up is almost failing. And that's a hallmark of a market in correction. Already, I think Nasdaq is in a correction mode. Already is more than 10% down from its top. If it becomes 20, then we can say that it's a bear market. Can it become 20? Obviously, it can. Nothing is stopping it. And we had bear markets in past, like in 2022 and others, 2018. And COVID was not really a bear market. It's a very short, quick fall and then recovery. So moving back to the other areas of market are slightly doing better than tech stuff. For example, the small stock Russell, they are also sliding, because small stocks they started sliding when the yields, 10-year, 30 years or 10-year yields or interest rates, if they are not coming down, they are more sensitive to higher interest rates. So it will be difficult for them to continue their move upwards. Dow Jones, which is only 30 stocks, has performed much better, but it is also started a move downwards. There are in other areas of Dow Jones, like transport sector, it was doing very, very well, is also being affected. So right now we are in more like not risk on mode, risk off mode or defensive mode. So that's one thing. Okay. So coming back to, so that's one thing about where we think the market is heading toward. I don't think that the situation will stabilize as of it is, the current situation till the midterm election. I think it will definitely improve just after the midterm election. The normal that season is good. Christmas season till the mid of January and 18th of January. That period is normally better than this period. So this is what one thing we need to keep in our mind before making any decision. That's number one. Now, users of my software, they know it very well that we have in this software, we publish our weekly commentary in stock picks every week. And right now, for the latest one, I published it yesterday. Okay. So if you want to see the complete, just download it. And there, I started with this thing, the market is not collapsing, it is eroding, which may be the harder thing to trade because you're not sure about the direction. Collapsing means all of a sudden you know it's going down and down, but eroding means slowly eroding its gains, giving it back slowly. So if you have, whenever you have time, go through this, and then we have a section and the week ahead. Now, it does not mean that everything is bad, as we said that there are some good areas as well. And if you are following this, now we have long-term stock picks, medium and short term, and new picks for watch list. And most of these picks are not in tech area recently. For example, we have picks like Apple, but that's a tech area, but not really an AI focus area. We have Chevron last week. We have J&J, Johnson Johnson. We have Dell. Dell is in tech area. Best Buy. Then pharma area, AbbVie, and Legion Pharmaceutical. In transport sector, JB Hunt. Industrial sector, GE. AMD is in tech area, but this position is there for a while. LLY has performed very well for us in our area, and MPLX, our pipeline operator, dividend operator. This is there for more than a year and just giving 7.34% annual dividend. And whenever we find some entry around we mention it in the bold lines here, that it offers an entry at current prices. So let's analyze that during last 1.5 year, almost 1.5 year now, starting from April, 1.25 year, what has been our performance of the stocks which were picked during the weekly commentary, and in fact some in between the weeks as well. So this Excel sheet is starting from almost from April 25, because last year around when Mr. Trump came into the office and all this tariff fiasco started, we closed almost everything except for the gold. And starting from April till this point onwards, which is today is 26th of July. So last position was open 17th of July, you opened Chevron and Broadcom, and Dell previously 15th of July. So this has been the performance. And along the way, you can see there have been some very good, one before that. Our maximum stop loss is 8%, but sometimes there is a gap down thing. Sometimes there's a sudden move, like in Google, we had a sudden breakdown and we closed that position. Google right here. We opened on 2nd of July, but closed on 23rd of July at 11.3% loss, although Google is a long-term stock. And I personally have this, and I still believe Google will come back. But for the sake of this principle that we do not take more than 8 to 10%, especially if the market is not supporting, we even close our long-term positions. So if there have been some very good winners, for example, gold, we bought at 7 February last year, and almost after 1 year, we ended at 71% gain right here. Similarly, here, 68% on the Google trade. We opened on 2nd of May last and closed this 27th of March. Long-term position 68%. AU, a gold miner, 52.8%. CRDO, a tech stock, 13 June, 7th October, almost 4 months, 85% gain. There were some losses like ServiceNow, 8%. Urban Outfitters, 8% loss. Look at this MU trade, 15th of August, MU closed 19th of March, 264%. Now all you need maybe one or two or three of these good trades in a couple, and that will pay you off the cost of entire subscription, will give you enough return to cover not only this but many of these small losses. And here you can see these are the graphs, like MU for 264%. We have this TSM or Apple maybe. Let's see. WDC found a trade at 20 October 25 and 10th of April, 172% return. Remarkable gain. 100% return on this Intel trade, 7th April this year, just 3 months ago, and we closed 16th of July. When it came down, otherwise it went all the way up to 130, but we closed it when it came down to 130. It's still 100% return. 60% return on Sterling. DRAM 56% return. We closed all those positions along the way. MU is still an open position. We open at 7th of April, 147%. Although MU has come down tremendously from 106% return on Marvel, 27th of March, we open still. And these are very recent, 27th March, April. But if you can see, the more you come towards May and June and July, we have some good winners in June as well, like this Eli Lilly. We bought at 1,000, right now is 1196, 19.6% return, 19th of May. PNW, Palo Alto Network, we bought at 266 on 8th of June, 22% return as of now. Legend Pharmaceutical, 20%. FV, 12.54%, a good dividend player, 22nd of June, almost a month. But you can also see the magnitude of gains is shrinking and losses are now increasing, like this Google trade minus 11.31%, Coco trade minus 11.3%. Then still some of the trades are in negative area. J&J minus 1.44, AMD minus 2.58, GE minus, but those are manageable. Now, what does it all mean? It all means that if you just follow this weekly commentary stock picks, so overall 140 trades were taken during this period from April 25, 5th to July 26, as of Friday, day before yesterday, 140 trades were taken. 72% of those were positive, ended in positive, some type of gain. It means that 28% or close to 30%, they ended in red, but the magnitude of the losses was kept small, 8, 10, maximum 11%, not beyond that. Overall, the profit factor, means the ratio of gross profit to gross loss, for closed trades is 8.28 and all trade is 10. What it means, all trade means including the open ones. Yeah, there's many trades which are open. What it means that if you are losing $1 on a trade using this system, then you are expected, based on this 140 trades samples, you are expected to gain $8.28 against each dollar of loss. And including all open trades is 1:10, which is a very good profit factor. Where on the cell are the sell recommendations also posted? Nasir, on the app, sell recommendations are not posted. Those are posted either in this weekly commentary itself, or during the week on the WhatsApp group and the social media channels. So because weekly commentary is updated once in a week. So for example, yesterday, I must have posted something to close or sell, like Google. This, you said the Google position was closed at this time. Okay, so this basically was a sell and closing the Google position, and it is appearing right here.
Nigger, 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 nigger.
I'm sorry, who's that? Can I request all of you to keep your, I don't know. Okay, so this is what the system is, and this is what, now each one person is different.
Shut up. Shut up.
Who is this man? I want to kick him out.
I think he's just left. It was Kyrie something. He just
I
left.
put everyone on mute.
He's back. He's
Nigger,
back. He's back. Who's this guy?
nigger, 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 nigger.
Okay, I have put everyone on mute and I'm not letting anyone to unmute themselves. Someone has probably joined from somewhere and is starting creating trouble. Anyway, so that's what we are doing right here. Okay. I hope you guys don't have any questions on this. So overall, I think we are doing fine. We need to be careful while we're picking new trades. And the reason I'm more cautious about this because I have customers, all sort of people. Some are very long term, they don't care about this 11, 12, 15, but some are very day-to-day time of traders and they don't like it. So this is more oriented towards a short-term trading. Yes, Nasisa, I will start posting the close positions on the app as well. I'm thinking of putting this entire tracking sheet on the app itself. So you can always find this set which is open or close. But I'm just thinking of how do we do it because you get this status once in a week. I know that, and I think you have asked for it previously as well. I'll think about it how to add this into our weekly commentary. Okay. There are some like options and hedging. People do options, hedging. Unfortunately, we do not do with options because of the majority of people being Muslims, and the options is a questionable item, and not many people do it. And I myself don't involve in options. So that's why normally I stick with the long-term investments only. Even Google is for me is a long-term investment. I don't care if it comes for 10, 15%. I know the history says that it will come back. Okay. Now, how to analyze and judge during the position? You guys who have this trading view version of TR indicator, it gives you some very good signals. Any stop, for example, if you are in a position and it is, I will give you some tips here that you can understand, okay, it's going to create some trouble, at least consolidate or, for example, we start, let's see Broadcom. Okay. Now, this is a Heiken-Ashi chart and this is a hollow candle chart. Let me switch to Heiken-Ashi chart. Heiken-Ashi chart. When you see these type of green bars, bar itself and the green TR indicator, this is the first stage and second. That means that you are in a strong uptrend. It keeps on going. When you first encountered this on the, especially on the weekly, this is daily on left, right on the weekly. This was a temporary, but when you first encountered this kind of price action, especially when the first stage triggered, this is the first stage week, that means that we are in trouble at least for some time. So for example, you encountered this first stage. Now you count how many weeks, for example, Broadcom, starting from December till again you find this tight zone and this green zone starts. How many months you spend in this phase? At least 3 months. So that is an area, especially on the weekly, if you're in long-term holder, that you should get out of this stock because it's going to stay in this position for long. And when it comes back, if the market is supporting, then you can make. So we made another entry here. But here again, if it started a big red bar and this is starting doing this thing, then it means that Broadcom is not going to show you this type of behavior at least for some time till the market improves. Sell diamond icons are right here on 22nd of June 1, and on the daily time frame it is here. The question was, I don't see the sell diamond icon. It's right here, 5th of June on the daily chart and 22nd of June on the weekly chart. So if you are following it closely, you can get out at this position and wait for the market or that particular stock to move back to this kind of position. And that is one thing, if you are a quick short-term trader, which can keep you on the right side of the trend. Besides that, if you are using my software side, I have explained a number of times here. that you can analyze any stocks. For example, let's see, we were looking at Broadcom, and just down here, this indicator snapshot in a snapshot give you a very good picture of what overall is happening. So the Broadcom, although it's a long-term stock, right now convection is only 0.9. These are the two important things we should take a look here. Strong accumulation distribution. It is still not under distribution, it's a mild accumulation, and the relative strength against the strength of the stock against the S&P 500s. Then we move on to the charting side. So we look at this relative strength. So this is relative strength line is coming down, and accumulation is still strong. That's why it's mild accumulation. Then we compare the performance of the stock against its peers among its own group, like if Broadcom is again its own group, Broadcom is not doing well. So that is one area of concern. But the group is strong, and Broadcom against the broader index is doing well. Question was, what is accumulation distribution? Accumulation distribution means whether the Wall Street is accumulating its share as the stock is trying to come down, or distributing, selling it more and more. What it means, if you go back to our, this is TR indicator. The accumulation distribution is also plotted here. This is accumulation distribution, the same, and this is relative strength. So relative strength is coming down, as you can see, against the S&P 500, but accumulation distribution is still there. It means that as the stock is coming down, Wall Street, or the big guys at the Wall Street, they are buying more shares towards the end of the day. When this, let's say, stock starts here, and at the end of the day, it comes down. But normally, at the end of the day, it is finding support, and that brings it back to the upper half of that trading range for that day. It means that generally, it means that the big guys, the banks, the fund manager institutions, they are accumulating the shares of this company at a better price. On the other hand, distribution means that they are selling its share when it is coming down. Like Tesla. Tesla may be an example. Its accumulation distribution is pretty constant. Here, no, see, this accumulation distribution is coming down, especially it means now the Tesla, the big guys are also distributing or selling its shares. Okay? So that's the accumulation distribution part, and I have added this here in the trading view indicator as well, and that's the relative strength part. So if you go to the software side again, you can we take a look at these two aspects for every stock before we make a decision. So for example, recently we made a decision for Dell. I explained Apple last month. We made a decision for Apple, and Apple has done well. But let's see, we want to evaluate because over here we had a position Dell, 15th of July we opened it, and right now it's standing at 6.7% gain. So what made the decision to make? First of all this now is still hold, but the conviction score is good. These two areas, relative strength is strong and accumulation distribution is strong, is part of our weekly picks. Although seasonality wise, July is not a good month, but July is almost ending. And this area, a WRPCT is price performance against a universe of 5,700 stock has been very good. It has beaten 98% of stock during the last 1 year. And not only this, it also, one of the best strategy for Dell has been a pullback to 10-week EMA, and that triggered on 17th of July. So that's why, in fact, we went ahead of that. We went ahead on 15th of July. So let's see the performance of Dell. And do we have Dell here? Dell should be a part of my weekly list somewhere here. Here is Dell. So this is what Dell was doing. All that came down, but we saw that over here it came down to this, and we thought that this is the lower end of the range. It will find support here. So we made an entry here, and that's why, although it was a riskier entry, I must say that. Another supporting supporting parameter was the accumulation distribution pretty much straight. So as soon as when it was trying to come down, it's a secondary one. It's a secondary indicator, not a primary indicator. But it means that del has been accumulated by industry during this range. Why it is struggling? Why it is not going through this phase? Because overall the market is not in this phase, especially the tech sector, and that is holding back this. As soon as the market will improve, you will see this kind of move out. So, for example, do you see any red kind of this kind of bar here? First stage and no, not right now. If something like this appears here, that will be our signal on the weekly chart, especially that this is time to get out of Dell and close that trade, whether it is positive, to minimize our losses. Because once we come to this stage, then most likely it will continue for at least for a couple of weeks till the situation and the market improves. So that's how the logic is behind this kind, and you can analyze any stock for example, what else you want to analyze? Let's analyze AMD. Now, AMD, I like AMD. AMD was a very good stock till this started doing this thing. And right now, to me, it looks like that AMD will not go beyond this point. Reason being, it is there stuck in this range, number one. Number two, this red bars has appeared, although it's followed by this green. This is known as, this is an indecisive candle. It's not here or not there, dodgy. Most likely it will come down and consolidate or even come down along with the market because it is way above, it's still well above its 50-day or 200-day moving averages. And as the market, as tech sector is expected to continue its weakness, AMD will follow. Although AMD comparatively is a stronger stock in that particular universe. All right, so going back to our software and the stocks list here. Here. We made, for example, several other, like SAP. Now, SAP, I was watching this stock, and after its earning, SAP is a big company. People have used SAP Enterprise Systems, Enterprise Solution System, myself included. But it was not doing anything for a long time. So let's move to SAP. Do we have SAP here? Right here. So this is what it was doing. Now, if you would ask me here, buy it, I will say no. This is a weekly chart. See what it's doing. One, it has started this green and red. It continued. It's become a falling knife. But obviously, it will never. Sometime it will find support and come back. Eventually, this happens last Friday. Look at this accumulation distribution, continuously distributing. Look at this relative strength. No way that we are going to buy it right now, even though it's trying to make higher. Why? When you are in this kind of phase, overnight you do not turn and become a great winner overnight. This market, it can happen, but the chances of doing that are very low. What would happen? That it will try to bounce. Right now it's here. If it maintains this low, and it will come back, then it will come down again, try to consolidate, and then eventually this phenomena will appear. This tight range breakout and the green zone appear, and then when that will come appear, that will be our point to entry. So for the time being, because if we enter right now, chances of it to give us a 20-30% move immediately are not very high according to my system, because everything is in downward. It will find resistance because there will be people who have bought, who are stuck here, and they will be start selling at this location, resistance, at this resistance, at this resistance. Once it overcomes that resistance and move into this kind of phase, that is going to be our buy point. Buy point, selling stop, sell off, and the green zone of TI indicator. That's how we work. Okay. Now, Marvel and ONDS. Marvel, we already have an open position right here. This is Marvel position. Already 106% return. 94.2 entry, 194 right now. Something which has given you 106% return in 3 months is not likely to give you another 100% return or 30-40% return in next 3 months, especially when the tech sector is weak. Number one. So let's analyze Marvel. There is a request for Marvel. Marvel, I think, should be here in my list because it's open right here. Okay, let's analyze Marvel. What it is saying. Relative strength has gone negative. Accumulation distribution is coming down. This is what Marvel is doing right now. Here. This is on left here daily, right here weekly. Remember what I explained to you? When one red bar on the weekly chart appeared, this is likely to continue this thing. Number one. Number two, the overall Marvel is part of semiconductors and tech space, which are again doing the same thing, even worse than this. So although it has given 106% return from our entry from here, we made an entry something around 106. Remember I just mentioned here in our Excel sheet. So do you think that it's going to repeat it 106 and from 200 to 400 will go? No, it can. Obviously, anything is possible. But given the market situation, I think Marvel will further come down. It will further come down. Maybe it come down to 211, and maybe it's time to close that open position for Marvel. The only reason I am still having this thing because we have a great profit of 106% as of right now. So we can, even though it has come, we can, even though it has come down, we can live with that for some time. But there is a point to everything. But I mean, the gain, our Marvel gain was something around 130, 140. So already we have given back 30 to 40% of our profit. Now, can we sustain it? It's up. Each individual is different. It's your decision. I entered here. You might have entered here. Then you must be in losses. But new positions, no. Okay. ONDS tech stock. As far as I know, ONDS is a tech stock. Same thing will happen to ONDS. Look at this strong stock weekly chart. First, ever since it started doing this, it took a long time for it to move back and then come down. So, do you think that it can come back? Yes, it can. It can find its support here at this level. This may be a good support. 200 days, 5.93. But I think ONDS is a what is ONDS? It's a semiconductor stock. It's a defense. What exactly is ONDS? Let's see. What does ONDS do? It's to do that. I'm not sure how do we do that on the TradingView. I can do it on my software. So what does OND do? It's a wireless drone and it's a defense data solution in the United States. It's a defense company. That's why it's non-compliant as well. But again, you see his relative strength is weak. Strong accumulation distribution, no. And his price performance for last one is just 8. Would you like to go long for this? No, no way. You have much better, although this July has been a good month for it, but you have much better merchandise available elsewhere. So why should we get stuck here? Why not other areas? Okay. You can analyze another request is about Nokia. Let's do that. Now Nokia was doing very well. But once it started doing early this year, this first stage calm, and this one, especially on the weekly Churban calm, look at what it did. It dropped from 14 to 9%. Now it found support at 50 moving a day moving 50-week moving average or 200-day EMA. But its accumulation distribution is coming down and down. Relative strength is also coming down and down. It's still better than S&P 500 because it had a great move earlier this year. But it has almost given back most of its gains. Now, question comes, is it a good support? It could be a temporary support. This line could be a temporary support because every time when it will come down to this level, it will find it. But its solidity now is in a downward trend. So most likely, when the moving averages are acting like this and the PPO is like this, most likely it will bounce only to find resistance and then come back again. That's how the natural flow is. All right. So that was the main objective of today's. I can allow people to mute Can you enable red and green bars on TR indicator chart on the software side? Shahab, the reason I prefer this TR indicator, because this is a professional traders platform, TradingView, and it has a very powerful features. Let's see how many. So that's why instead of reinventing the wheel, I can add the Heiken Ashi over there. No issue. I can add that. Let me write it down. So maybe in the next upgrade, I can add the Heiken Ashi feature on the software. Software right now does not support Heiken Ashi. On the software side, we have over here, for example, we had these of candlestick, open, high, low, close bar, line, area. Oh, we have Heiken Ashi. I'm sorry. But on the main chart only, not on the TR chart. These are Heiken Ashi chart. These are Heiken Ashi charts. Sorry, I had that feature and I don't, because I don't use it on the software, so I don't remember it. But on the TR indicator, I don't think that we have the Heiken Ashi. This is only the line chart. This is probably what you are looking for. So those red and Heiken Ashi feature is available on the main chart on the software right here. In the on the trading view, we have an advantage that all these things are built in when it comes to charting and indicators. Okay, so I have made it a note and I will add it inshallah on the trading TR indicator as well. The Heiken Ashi is already there on the main chart on the software, and I will add it to the TR indicator. Now, any more question? That was pretty much it. I wanted to review the performance of the, and I want to highlight that I probably will close because let's see. Marvel, we suspect the Marvel will come down further. MU most likely will come down further. Already up from April, 147% gain. So we would like to protect our capital gain. I mean, it's already, we lost something around 20-30%. No problem. We already enjoy 147% gain. So that's why our profit factor is very good when it comes to all trades, including the 20 open trades. That's why it's very good. But going forward, we have to be more cautious and nimble about the future because not everything will become FV or legend farmer. It will be very difficult to get the gains of this magnitude, Marvel or I mean, Apple is 33% from April, and that's not bad. Look at the size of the Apple. Nvidia is also 18.6% return from 31st of March. Not bad. Any more questions, sir? I analyzed all those things. One thing about yeah, please go ahead. Biotech stuff, you already have a number of biotech stocks. FV, Legend Pharma, and but the biotech, there is an issue with biotech. Biotechs are very, very sensitive to news. Most of the biotechs do not make any money. They have some news, FDA approvals, and others. How do I unmute people?
I'm already unmuted.
You are unmuted? Okay,
Yeah,
let me
Assalamu
unmute.
alaikum. On the TR indicator, you have the 9-day moving average, 50-day, 200 days, and 20 days. Why those numbers specifically? What's the cycle? What's significant about those numbers?
That's a
9 days.
great question. That came from my experience. Different people use different type of it. Some use 21 day, a 50 day and 200 day on the daily side are normally universally accepted moving averages by most traders. IBD, for example, use 21 day. I know, where I have stuck to. I have and these are generally acceptable because not me. For example, you're a group of 20 people here, 30 people, whatever, and we are experienced. Now you have in the back of your mind. If you go through the many or different courses, people initially develop. Now, what is 20 day? 20 days is 1 month. 10 days are normally closed, weekend. 20 days is basically a month. So it's basically a performance of last 1 month's average. What is 200 day? 200 days is close to, not exactly, 253 trading days are one year. It's close to 1 year. Now, 9 days or 10 days, some people use 10 days. It's a matter of choice. But generally, these levels, as I said earlier, are universally accepted by traders and they follow it. So you will always find some kind of bounce or support, like on the 50-week. This you see, there's a support on this 50-week for Nokia. You always find some kind of reaction. At times, those reactions work. At times, those reactions do not work. So there's no one set formula. It's not that easy. Okay? Not on the Robinhood, but this indicator is available for day trading. It was actually developed for the day trading on TradingView for the day traders. So for the day traders who are there should be several customers, they are receiving a list of stocks which are moving pre-market every day around 7:45 a.m. Central. And those are plotted for uh, on the day trading time frame, which are generally 3 minutes or 5 minutes. So, for example, if you were looking at this list, and one day you might find maybe Sandisk is a very good example for day trading. Why? Because it has a good trading range. Now, for the day traders, we move to 3 minutes or 5 minutes. And it plots you the levels of trading levels for you as well. So, for example, here this is Sandisk. And the 24th 8:30 market open, these two lines are the resistance line. We are already in a downward trend. Just before the market open, it tried move up, it could not feel a resistance. So that was a short as far as the day trading was concerned because the market was falling down on Friday. So there was no longs. And it came back here, tried again, found this resistance on these lines, and it came back here, and eventually it found support here. So for the short traders, Sandisk offered a very good, for example, traders starting from 1612 or 1606. And maybe when you find this kind of, this is VWAP, and you get out at this 1500, that give you a trading, one trade range approximately how many? $84, $85 per one stock. What is the basis of TR indicator? TR indicator is not had one, it has a complex set of calculations. It takes into account price, action, momentum, relative strength, and a few other things as well. Basically, price action and momentum. Those are the basics. Okay. So for the day traders, to answer that question, for the day traders, I have specifically the same indicator, TR indicator, along with the list of moving stocks in the morning, and on the smaller time frame, like 3 minutes or 5 minutes or 10 minutes chart. Correspondingly, like we try Apple on this chart. Where is Apple here? Here. Okay. See the Apple move. 24th, first stage, market opens, you cross this VWAP, this is your entry, green zone. And see that Apple's move continuously moving up and up, and right here at this resistance. This is also a resistance. This is a resistance, it can come down. You have to take partial position. But this is at here when it comes at 11:12, 11:15, it started struggling. And then it has already covered a lot of distance for Apple's daily range. So for example, if you made a range here, Apple 322, and you got out at 333, that's $11 move on Apple, one stock. That was your day trade for Apple just for the Friday. Same indicator works on a very small time frame for 3 minutes, 5 minutes for day trading, and that's a long position, even on a falling market. Normally, that does not happen. A falling market brings down a strong stock, but Apple was very strong on that particular day on Friday. Okay, if no more question, I would just like you, if you are,
One last question, please.
go ahead, please.
Just explain the sentiment of the week process for the stock market, starting Monday, finish all the way to Friday. The market opens on Monday and closes on Friday.
You missed the first part. I opened it with that. What's the name?
No. Yeah. Now I'm asking is how do people normally behave?
First of all, I mentioned that this particular period, making all other things equal. For example, there's no uncertainty and other thing, we factor that this particular period from 26th July to 7th of August is generally a strong period. That's fun. But the overall period starting from the late July or the mid of August till the mid of October is negative. Then we
No,
have
sorry, that wasn't my question. Now I'm asking when the market opens on Monday, a regular week, a week throughout the whole year. Normally people, the investors or the traders, they buy more toward the Monday, they sell more toward the end of the week, they tend to hold the position.
there's no
Just in
one
general.
given set of things that I can do. It will happen all the time. Generally, Mondays are negative. Generally.
Okay, yes.
Generally, and why? Because there's always some pessimistic news around the corner during the weekend break. So Monday morning, normally what happens if you follow the future, market goes up and then it finds resistance at certain point. Let me switch to market first. Then I will be able to explain it better way. Okay, indices and S&P 500. And to give you an example of a Monday, move to maybe 3 hours. So this is a 3 hour chart. And I don't want that stock basic layout. Let's move to a different layout. This is a 3 hour chart, and you want S&P 500. Okay. So on your left, we have a 3 hour chart. Now on Monday, which one was Monday? 17th of July? No. Monday, 20th July. So you see what happens? Monday was a positive, but then the market started falling off on the Tuesday. Now this is continuously been happening. Maybe you have good news from Mr. Trump or something like the war has ended or pause, not ended, pause. So you will have good sentiment. But if the market is weak, eventually the sentiments will fade away. And towards the end of the week, this is happening for last 3 or 4 weeks. The market is starting coming down. Monday, you can find market initially jump, but since we are in a weaker phase of overall, and the markets are not doing well, especially in the Nasdaq side, S&P is even better. This is uh, Sunday, Monday. You see, Monday market opens and then it started came down. Every bar is a 3 hour chart. Then on Tuesday was better day, but starting from Wednesday, the market started coming down again. So the sentiments will generally work like that. The market opens, stocks moves up only to find a resistance, and then they fade away. That's what generally it happens. Okay. There's a request on NASA. NASA, I think, is an ETF. Correct? What do you think NASA will do when all those raw space stocks and other stocks they are doing? This is what NASA is doing. Exactly the same thing. This on your change it to the daily weekly. Oh, this is Apple. No, I want NASA. Do I have to say anything? Once you have this, especially this weekly red bar on the 1st of June, it was over for NASA. Although during the week, the SpaceX, I think, and NASA has some investment in SpaceX, but SpaceX right now is going to the reverse direction. Now, will it go forever? Obviously not. It will find a bottom. It will find a bottom, but it will struggle to repair this chart and come back into this position. We want charts and stocks in this position to not in this position to go long. Okay. One comment about SK Hynix, SKHY. That was the stock. It's a new IPO, Korean firm. Now, I read a comment that it has formed a base. This is weekly and this should be daily. Okay, this is daily and this is weekly as such. That now this is not going anywhere for the time being. I saw an IBD article on there that this has formed a IPO base. I'm not sure whether they call it IPO base. For me, it is still underwater. IPO base should be better than something like this. This is another IPO, billion to one. Here is an IPO base. It formed this base and then broke out. And this was in my target last month, and I mentioned a number of times in my group as well. This is an IPO base. This was an IPO base. For SK Hynix, I don't think that this is. I tend to disagree with IBD on that. Or maybe it's too early. Maybe they have some other system they found it. Maybe it's too early. But according to my system, I think it's too early to call it an IPO base. All right, guys, if that's you find this interesting, I would like to call it a day. Just to highlight here, if you're not my customer, we have our offering for the weekly community stock is just for $9.99 per month or $110 a year. If you want to complete software, it's $25 per month or $275 per year. But I strongly recommend the TR indicator for the day trading indicator or the TR indicator for the trading view. And right now, the overall cost is $395 a year. But if you get this coupon TV special, you can get a discount of $60, and instead of $395 for this complete thing, you will get it for $335 for the whole year. That is what we are offering. And if we have our YouTube channel, youtube.com/MJ Our website is analyzestocks.net. Support@analyzestocks.net is my email. Please send me an email if you're interested and visit our website. And I hope you like it. And a quick question, I'm working on an automatic trading strategy and wanted to know which reliable service I should use for historic data. Automatic trading strategy. That means bot, correct? I actually not very much in favor of bot. I'll be honest. Bot are like machines, algorithms. Maybe I'm an old-fashioned guy, but I think that there's no substitute of a human touch or human analysis at the end of the day. I mean, my mind, my things, I can work and I can see now there are many different bots, reliable service. I'm talking about historical data. There are a number of different structures. You can send me an email on that, and I can guide you to find some good historical services for that data features. Okay.
Brother Sabri,
Yes.
the green triangle and the red diamond in real time, how soon they show up? If
It
you're
depends
doing
upon the time frame. If you have 1 minute chart, they will appear on the one after 1 minute. If there is a day chart, daily time frame, obviously then it will appear after 1 day or one. If it's a weekly chart, it will appear on 1 week.
Is it 1 week behind?
No. It depends upon the time frame which you choose. If you
So
have a
let's say
time
I'm
frame of
choosing
daily,
the 15 minutes.
then 15 minutes, it will okay. Let's move to 15 minutes here. What it is, SK Hynix? 15 minutes. Okay, this is 15 minutes. 1, 2, 3. It has some algorithm behind it, which includes the PPO and the momentum. So it takes a few of these to change the direction. When it senses the change in direction, then it will appear.
So
There's no fixed formula for that.
the red triangle right here showed up at hour 10, right?
This one?
Yeah, that one. It showed up at 10, but it
Yeah.
was
Yes.
2 bars after.
Yes.
So it's half an hour after it's when the trend start going down.
Because there is no way that you can say that, okay, this is the top has been reached. For that, you need to understand the market structure. If you're doing the day trading, you just don't go by this, you go by these resistance levels here at the top. You see, it failed at this resistance. That's why for the day traders, this VWAP level and these trading levels are very important. So this bar, for example, failed exactly at this resistance level, which is plotted here. But there are always chances, given the market is strong or not, or that it will have attempts, multiple attempts, and it will cross this resistance. There is always chances. That's why this is a market. But when it started doing 2 or 3 times there, then its PPO direction changes. And when PPO direction changes and the momentum shifts, then it says that there is a change in the direction of the trend. The trend can persist. Still, it's a strong trend. It can find support here and continue. That happens. So that's why it found support here and then it came back. But ultimately, it gave away. So there's no fixed formula. For each stock that it comes after 2 bars, it comes after 3 bars, it depends upon the stock, its situation. The trend can resume anytime. That's why for the smaller time frame, you need to have a market context understanding with you. That okay, this is its trading range, this is its support, this is its resistance, and here it will turn back. It's a combination of things, a complex thing. That's why day trading is very tricky, it's complex. Okay?
Yes, thank you.
The question was, what was the question? How many Nawab, how many stocks on your weekly commentary of these which are the best? For that, you have to go to the weekly commentary, take a look at the weekly commentary. Each stock is different. Those are my handpicked. Those are not by any bot. Long-term stocks are the best. Again, if you are a long-term investor. But if you are not a long term, I have many customers who are just short term investors. They want very quick wins. They're not there for long term. For them, it not. Then you should focus on medium and short term picks. Okay. Thank you very much. It's already an hour 10 minutes. I appreciate everyone's time, and I please pass on the words to other your friends, colleagues, if they are interested. They can join these sessions. They can start with weekly commentary topics if they, or they can have a taste of everything. I would strongly recommend everyone to get this day traders. It's basically day traders version, TR version for TradingView, because that in a snapshot very quickly gives you an overall analysis of where this particular stock and the markets are heading towards. Okay, gentlemen and ladies, if any, thank you very much. I appreciate that. And with this, we call it a day and hope to see you very soon. Inshallah. Thank you very much.